is one of those petitions that makes me wonder what it is that we do in this country. You take teachers, you say, let us educate them, let us put them through a training, you increase their salaries. 27 years after, they are still crying that those increment they are yet to receive. What exactly are we doing, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, this is an issue which, when you read the petition, you wonder whether we represent the people we say we represent. My views are a little bit unorthodox when it comes to issues to do with personal welfare. Why is it that we ourselves here as leaders, whenever we are promised an increment, every year, all of us here as leaders, we get some form of a salary increment? Why is it that that is never delayed and not paid? The day you delay a member of parliament increment is the day they'll shut down the country. Why can't we treat the teachers, who are the ones who educated us and gave us the wisdom for us to come here and represent them? Mr. Speaker, I'd like to beseech you to handle this thing differently, because this is another crisis we have, similar to the one of former councillors who served this country diligently, and while current members of the county assemblies are getting a gratuity or pension, those ones were forgotten. Every so often, we talk about budget. We know the Senate doesn't deal with the issue of budget. I wish our colleagues in the lower house would be able to, so motto, take on this matter and add that budget there and reduce all these budgets of tea, budgets of travel, and at least pay these teachers from 1996, 27 years ago. In fact, the distinguished senator nominated, who is looking at me, Tabitha, was not born then. And now, look at her. She's serving this house, representing those teachers. And their salaries increment, they have not been paid until today. What exactly are we doing here? I want to call upon the commissioners, the TSC commissioners, led by my good friend Nancy. Please, this is about time that you need to now ask yourself what it is that you're doing in that office. And I want to call upon my colleagues in the lower house. We'll be talking about budget. And the only thing which is in our head right now, which is going to divide this country into two, is the issue of the finance bill, which is going to tax those people again. A basic salary of a teacher, Mr. Speaker, is 27,000 shillings to 30,000 shillings. What is 27,000 shillings in this country? That's a teacher who has made even the current occupier of the house in the hill to be there. You know, some of these things, Mr. Speaker, if you tell me that you will amend our standing order so that we can call those commissioners here, I'll agree. I'll agree for them to come here, and by the time they're walking out of this place, we have a resolution. Mr. Speaker, I dare say if you look at the budget of the Ministry of Education, and yet some of these teachers here who are promoted, we no longer have something called P1. There's no P1 anymore. I think it's called what? Grade what? If you look at the budget of the Ministry of Education, just like the Ministry of Health, you'll be shocked. The amount of money they get, yet some of these services are devolved. Then why don't we ask ourselves tough questions now, Mr. Speaker? That when we are talking about amending the Constitution or bringing changes, why don't we then devolve education fully, entirely, like other countries? There are other jurisdictions where it's a school district that has to care about the salaries, the benefits of teachers. We are in a very, very tough year. This year, cost of sugar will be more than the cost of a bag of cement. And if we don't even fight to increase this little money, and it's little money compared to the amount of money we waste. We waste a lot of money. We employ CASS. We give them a lot of money. We fight in courts. If you take a budget of those CSs, you'll send that money to these teachers. I think it's about time that we become our real brothers keepers and we fight for them. If there is anything that I'll be happy, increase my tax to pay these teachers, do it. But don't increase my tax to pay some form of housing allowance. If you cannot even pay those teachers their increment, how are you going to be able to give them this house? Come on. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.